In this episode of Ask Me Anything, I got a question, not really a question, more of like an insult and some negativity towards one of my posts about the idea of that you can't just treat regionally, you have to treat the whole body on every treatment, and then what I'm doing is complete bullshit and I'm ripping people off. So I wanted to cover that directly this week on this episode. Everybody, Dr. Matt Maggio here, creator of the Peak Method and founder of the Soft Tissue Revolution, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment method that focuses on working smarter, not harder, allowing them to make well over $100,000 per year with less than 20 hours a week per time in the clinic. I said in the intro, I made a post a couple weeks ago, I think it was a podcast, where I talked about why 15 or 20-minute treatments are better for you, better for your clients. I got a lot of good feedback on that, but also got a lot of negative feedback on that. And got someone that was, kind of mean, called me names, told me I was stupid, told me what I do is bullshit, told me what I do is ripping people off. So I wanted to address that directly. So I went and pulled that comment up. And it said, I think it's bullshit that you believe you can get any results from a 15-minute treatment, and all you're doing is ripping people off. The only way you can do anything is by treating the whole body, which you clearly don't do. I'm very nice, but people on the internet aren't very nice, but it happens. So one of my favorite books of all time is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm not very good at Spanish. And he talks about the different agreements you make with yourself and the world. And one of those is don't take things personal. And I've been really working on that. That's one of my hardest ones to really go in and filter out. And I decided not to take this one personal. So whenever someone gives me an insult, or they tell me that I'm a charlatan, or I'm ripping people off, or maybe that I'm just an asshole, I run it through a gauge in my mind in a filter, and I go, am I really ripping people off? Is what I'm doing truly bullshit? And I think about that because maybe that's their perspective. So I go through and put that through my filter. And what I want to do on this episode is explain why what I'm doing isn't bullshit. It's actually better, it's more effective, and it's going to be something that's going to get long-lasting results. Let's dive right in. We have these innate, built-in biases as humans. One of those biases is called confirmation bias. Basically, the idea is that we look at data, we look at what everyone else is doing, and we want it to mold what we do. So you've been ingrained, especially in the massage world, about spending more time with people, service versus solutions, getting paid for your time instead of the results. And you want to look at data across the board to justify what you're doing, justify the idea that you have to spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours with someone to get results. And when someone like me comes around and says, hey, you can actually get better results, it's better for you, it's better for the client, it really digs deep at those people's biases. And I get those reactions where they tell me I'm an asshole, they tell me I'm full of shit, and what I'm doing is bullshit. What it is I'm challenging some of those deep inbuilt biases that this person might have, and they don't want to see it through a different perspective. So what they do is they usually just ignore it, but some people get mad and comment and they don't make any changes, but that's really deep rooted in there, and we all do this. And recognizing when you're having that confirmation bias can help you see things differently and understand that just because everyone's doing something a certain way, really looking at it with like real data, not being emotional, and looking at it factual and being like, hey, is this actually doing the thing that I needed to do? Or is there someone else out there that's doing it better, doing it faster, and doing it more efficiently? And that's what I've been able to figure out with my system, is why the 15-minute treatment is actually better than an hour, hour and a half. This person, they made a lot of assumptions about what I do. They probably don't understand my whole system, and that's okay. One thing that I like to do is I don't really comment on people's posts or things like that. I might send them like a private message and be like, hey, I didn't agree with this. Let's have a conversation. Usually people that are going to attack and going to do stuff like that, they're really just trying to protect their own biases. So what my process actually looks like is a lot more thorough and a lot more in depth. So we earn that 15, 20-minute treatment because we do so much work on the front end. So first off, we start with a very detailed and focused injury consultation where we ask 12 very specific and pointed questions about exactly what's going on, what the client's going through. And then based off of that data, we sit down and we start to formulate what we're going to do for a functional evaluation. And after that, we do a 30 to 45 minute functional evaluation. So now we've already spent an hour with the client. with the data, with everything going on, and really being able to figure out what's going on. That's how we earn that 15-minute treatment. So on the surface, you're like, oh, I'm just spending 15 minutes and I'm not getting anything done. No, we put a lot of work in there. We didn't just have the client come in and fill out some bullshit intake form that everybody has them do, circle where it hurts, blah, 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 give me your bullshit medical, whatever, and let's jump right into treatment. We slow down, we think critically, we get to the process and really figure out what's going on, because I always say you can't solve a problem if you don't know what it is in the first place. One thing that I try to explain and I try to help people understand is that treatment is like a medication. You can do enough to be effective, but you can actually over-treat and it can be overly effective and cause more problems. But no one really thinks about that in the treatment mold and the treatment mentality. And what I'm seeing so much is this idea of like this kitchen sink approach, you know, like let's do a bunch of shit in one visit. Let's cup them, let's stretch them, let's do myofascial release, let's do all sorts of stuff. And it's just too much treatment. You know, so many people think that treatment can either make you feel better or it doesn't do much of anything. No one ever considers the other side of that, that doing too much can actually damage the tissue more, not promote a healing environment, and not get the results that you need. When I look at treatment and recovery and performance, I really want to follow what I call like a 5 to 7% rule. Basically, we want to improve that much per visit. As we do that, you start to stack up 5, 6 visits, we're 25, 30, 40% better. And we want to get that dosage and that medication of the treatment just right. And so many people want to hit a home run on every visit and they want to do all these things. And all you're doing is beating the hell out of the tissue, not giving it a chance to heal up, and not really giving the client the right type of treatment that they need. So I really look at it as one visit at a time, but I put all that data together on the front end to really know I'm making good decisions. I know exactly what's going on and I'm getting that dosage just right. The thing I want to clear up for people is I do treat the whole body. I do treat globally, but I first start regionally and I go to where the issue might be, and then we work our way out. So in a typical, let's do a neck problem. So in a typical neck problem, what I start first is I clean up the neck motion, flexion, rotation. Then I go into the upper thoracic spine, clean up that. Then I go into the shoulder. Then if I need to go down lower into the back, into the hips and everything like that. What this does is allows me to really focus on putting out one problem at a time. So if you're like treating the whole body, you don't really know what's actually causing that problem. We have that segmented approach as we go in each time and get a little bit better each time. It's getting that dosage correct. So that's why I do 15-minute treatments, because they're better for the client, they're better for you, they take more wear and tear off your body, and they allow you to get longer lasting results. So in closing, quit working so damn hard. You know, I talk to these body workers and these massage therapists, you're beating the shit out of your body and you're doing so much on the front end of that treatment. Quit working so hard, start working smarter. Start to figure out exactly what the problem is. Think critically and know exactly what you can do and how you can help, and start getting results that last, instead of like having to put everything into one treatment, trying to hit a home run. Just hit singles, base hits, and as you go, before you know it, you're going to be lighting up the scoreboard, like what I did with that analogy there. If this resonated with you, you like what I have to say, maybe you're understanding that, hey, what I'm doing isn't going to last because I'm beating the hell out of my body. I'm doing all this work. I can't see as many people as I want to see. I'm not getting the results I need to. Go grab our free training. Come to one of our courses, learn a little bit more from me, change your perspective and change your mindset, and don't get stuck in that bias of like, well, I have to do this. I have to spend an hour. You don't. There's people out there doing it differently, thinking differently, treating differently, working smarter, not harder. If you have any questions you want me to cover, send them over my way, and don't let haters get to you too much, and don't have those biases. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.